to me, like I said, the most annoying things are I don't like the fact that both St. Louis games are on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Feels like that's something that MLS really missed on. Like, you got to give these two rivals at least a weekend game to be able to make that trip. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of No Other Pod. I'm Jimmy, along with my good buddy Daniel Kooser. Dan, what's going on, my friend?
Here we are, man. We're back with more MLS playoff stuff. And you know what? Mm-hmm. Is this the earliest that Major League Soccer's ever released a schedule for the following year? This is crazy. This is like seeing Christmas stuff in Walmart in August.
It sure feels like it. Yeah, I mean, every year it's getting a little sooner. And like Sporting KC, they did a little, I don't know if you saw, they had Ian James and Jacob Bartlett going around town doing a little thing. And you look like you have thoughts about it.
Do you have thoughts about it?
Yeah, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it was interesting. They took a shot at something, and I'm not sure it went how they wanted it to, but they tried. Yeah. But MLS has released their schedule. I am wearing my Everton gear, my throwback Everton shirt, because as of recording this in 9 minutes, Everton and Manchester United are kicking off at Old Trafford. So,
are you? Is it a big game or something? Like, what is it?
It's Everton and Manchester United.
Don't you always watch Everton games?
Yeah, but you're a United fan.
And so I mean, ish. I try. I put it on when I work out on Saturday mornings. You know.
Well, here's the deal. It's not often that Everton anymore is on a national TV game in the afternoon here.
Oh, what are they on?
It's on USA.
Oh, nice.
So, and it's, kicks off on an afternoon in the States, not a 7 a.m. kickoff. And, if we're in, I think, 13th place, I want to say right now. So we get 3 points. We can tie United on standings. So I'm just saying, we'll see. So I'm surrounded by United fans. I have a lot of friends who are United fans. So
do you?
Yeah.
I don't, I was big in it for a while, man. And then, like you said, it's just so hard to watch everything. And you know me, dude. I watch a lot of stuff. And I've been, hockey season's in full form now. It's
are you
going.
A hockey fan?
I try to watch the Blackhawks when I can.
That's crazy.
Moving up to Chicago, man. It's just, they had a hockey team. We don't have one here. So I tried to learn the rules and everything. And it sure can be a lot of fun.
I do watch playoff hockey. Playoff hockey is crazy because it's so intense. But
it is. And, just the other night, though, Blackhawks were up 2-0 in the third period and then ended up losing 3-2. And I was like, how does that happen when you had a shutout going for 2.5 periods? Like,
hockey can turn on a dime. And what's crazy is, like, I remember the first time I learned that, like, because they're 20-minute periods, 3 periods, so it's 60 minutes of a game. And I remember learning that, like, on average, a hockey player might play like 20, 22 minutes of that game. And I was like, that seems like nothing. But then you think about it, and it's like they are basically full on sprinting for like 2 minutes at a time on these skates, just beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
And then coming off for like 2-4 minutes and then back on. Like, it is a brutal sport.
High intensity interval training is where it's at, man. My favorite pastime, though, is popping a fun little gummy and watching the referees. Bro, if you watch the referees in hockey, they're just trying to dodge people. They're trying to dodge the puck.
Jumping.
Yeah, they're jumping. I'm like, the referees are the most athletic people on the ice.
Yeah. And you know what? I think in more sports, refs should just say, you know what? Y'all want to scrap? Go at it. Y'all want to handle this like a couple of grown adults? All right, we'll let you do it for about 10 seconds before we step in.
Before we give you like a 5-minute timeout. Yeah. Like, that's what it is, bro. I understand you knocked his tooth out, but enjoy this 5-minute timeout while they have a little power play. Now, power plays can be exhilarating. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a fun time, dude.
Mm-hmm. My favorite thing about hockey, though, is you can tell there are some hockey players that, like, they genuinely want to fight. And then there's other hockey players who are like, I guess we kind of have to pretend that we are going to fight, and they grab each other, and they're just kind of like,
yeah,
who's going to do it? And then they both fall down, and they're like, we fought.
Some of it's like pre-planned. Some of it's like, I'm like, did they Facebook message each other the night before and be like, hey, we should fight right when the puck drops? Because that happened the other night. Puck dropped and a fight happened.
I remember that happened. Was it the U.S. and Canada in that, I forget what it's called, the tournament, like last year, where the puck dropped and all 6 people, the 4 nations. That's right.
Four Nations.
All 6 people on ice just dropped their sticks, dropped their gloves, and just started going to town on each other.
I don't. It's a hooligan sport for sure, man. But you're right. They absolutely should get it on in most sports, like soccer. Can you imagine the kickoff happens and they're like, "Come here."
There'd be a lot less faking injuries if it could be like, you know what? Oh, you pretended like I just, kicked the shit out of you. How about I actually do it? Like NFL Blitz style.
And they should, instead of like yellow and red cards, they should have orange cards, which when they do this for indoor soccer, man, orange card means you have to like sit in a penalty box for a bit.
Yeah. Go take it.
That sounds great.
Luis Suarez, you bit somebody again? Timeout.
Listen here, Mr. Biter. Hey, they did that though, right? At the Comets games. Isn't there like a penalty box situation?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I love that.
It's like a mix of hockey and soccer for indoor soccer.
Yeah. Anyways, long story short, Topeka just got a hockey team again. So that's kind of cool. We had the Scarecrows way back in the day. Then they turned into like the Roadrunners and other stuff. So the Scarecrows are back and they're playing at our event center here. So haven't gotten out to a game yet, but I hope to.
Speaking of Scarecrows, I have to ask real quick. Did you see Wicked for Good? Have you seen it?
No, dude, I'm in Tech Week right now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in Anastasia Tech Week. You know Anastasia? You a fan of Anastasia?
I know, like the cartoon movie.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know the premise.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if they've changed it at all or not, but yeah.
That's killing me.
Who are you, Anastasia?
Yeah, I'm Anastasia, right. No, dude, I'm not even in the movie. I'm the bad guy that they wrote for the stage show. Yeah. And they're like, here's a couple songs to sing too.
I don't know. You're a good enough actor. You could be Anastasia.
I have played a woman.
I believe in you
before. I have done that.
You got the pipes for it.
Yeah. And Nick just said that I think they were Topeka Tarantulas at one point, by the way, that hockey team. So
that's crazy. If KC got a hockey team, would you get rid of your Blackhawks fandom? And no, I mean like an NHL team.
NHL.
And adopt the KC team.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd have to. Like when I lived in Chicago, I was like, okay, if I'm going to get into women's soccer, Kansas City doesn't have a women's soccer team. So I tried to follow the Chicago Red Stars at the time. And then once I moved back, KC immediately got a team.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm all in on this team, obviously. Yeah. So, I think
that was in between when FCKC moved to Salt Lake, right? That was about when he moved. Yeah.
And same with if they got like an NBA team, man, or WNBA.
Bro,
I'd be all in.
So hoped we were going to get a WNBA team. I think this town would have been all about it. So we do have the Mavericks. Thank you, Nick. They're a minor league hockey team.
Yeah, isn't there an NHL affiliate, the Kraken?
Is it? I think minor league changes sometimes, but yeah, it might be. So Mavericks games are super fun. Yeah. So it's super fun. At least I know like minor league baseball teams, sometimes their affiliations would change occasionally.
And they play where the Comets play?
Yeah, they play at what's it called now? Silverstein Ice Center or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So those are fun. So if you haven't been to one of those games, those are fun too. But I'd be a big KC hockey fan. The thing that confused me most about Kansas City when I moved here, because I knew that like Kansas City and St. Louis, like rivals, don't get along. It's evident by like Sporting KC and St. Louis City fans and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But then there's like a weird truce for two things, because Kansas City fans will claim the Blues sometimes as their hockey team, and St. Louis fans will claim the Chiefs as their football team. And it's like, those are the things that like it's allowed, but everything else we hate each other. And that's always confused me, because I've never been able to like even remotely care about the Blues. And maybe it's just because I'm not from here, but I'm like, oh, it's St. Louis, I don't like it.
Yeah. So, but there's a whole ass like hockey bar downtown.
Cable Dahmer, that's what it's called. It used to be called Silverstein. It's Cable Dahmer.
Like the blue line or something. They call it like the blue line.
Yeah, isn't that a Blackhawks bar?
I don't know about that.
I thought it was a Blackhawks bar. There's a Blackhawks bar I know down by the River Market.
See, I love that stuff. I love when nonsensical bars pop up for teams that don't even play in that city. Like, dude, I went to a Chiefs bar to watch a game one time in Chicago, and it was awesome just being surrounded by other people in that city.
I know my brother in San Francisco, his neighbors actually in the apartment complex they live in San Francisco are from Olathe. And so they're like, there's like 4 little Chiefs fans, and they go to a Chiefs bar in San Francisco and watch there. So when it was like Chiefs versus Niners in the Super Bowl, it was like the 4 of them having to be like, be careful walking through the streets of San Francisco until they got to the Chiefs bar. So,
right.
Yeah. But they said they ordered Jack Stack in to eat like during the AFC Championship game, so they're like trying to be all Kansas City. So pretty
very cool.
But But yeah, so it's lots of exciting things going on right now. We are in the midst of the MLS playoffs because the international break has ended, so plenty to talk about there. I did see. We'll talk about some of these games here in just a little bit. But did you see Kalen Kyle get super mad at a Cincinnati player for trading jerseys with Lionel Messi?
No, like
This
to the
is
player's face or just like
no,
a
like
recap?
on the broadcast, she kind of Teenage Hadebe. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing his name right, but I apologize if I'm not. He's an FC Cincinnati player. So obviously Cincinnati lost to Miami 4-0, and Miami's now going on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Kalen Kyle said, quote, "This is the biggest frustration for me. The team looked like they rolled in and were starstruck by Messi. I understand Messi is the greatest player of all time. He's won everything you can win. Hadebe then goes over to him. You just lose 4-0 and you ask for his jersey. For me, you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed in front of your home crowd that shows up year in, year out, week in, week out. You just got a 4-0 thrashing in a conference semifinal, and you're asking to trade jerseys. I understand it. I get it. He's the greatest of all time, and you want to hang his jersey in your trophy room, but do it behind the scenes. Don't do it when you just got bullied off the pitch. It's embarrassing for FC Cincinnati." It feels like that's a little bit of a harsh take to me, because we see players trade jerseys all the freaking time after games, win, loss, whatever. And so I feel a little bit weird singling out one specific player for trading with Messi when it might be the only time he ever gets to play Messi in his career. It just feels like this is like I had to get mad about something, and so now I'm just getting mad about something when this happens every game, multiple times a game. But,
yeah,
like if you're a Cincinnati fan, would this have bothered you?
Maybe. I don't know. It's emotional, right? You're in the moment.
Sure.
You feel things in the moment. I want to say no, but honestly, I might be like, no, fuck that. No, that just beat the brakes off us, Yeah. I don't like that I Google Kalen Kyle's name and up comes an article on awfulannouncing.com. That's pretty rude.
To be fair, Awful Announcing, they don't only write about people who are terrible. Like they started as like kind of that, and now they just cover like sports media. But
what? It's in their name. You can't abandon your brand.
But sometimes they just write about like broadcaster news, so it's not always just like, oh, this person sucks.
Interesting.
But in the case of Kalen Kyle, that might be what they're doing. I don't know. I just feel like if I saw, because look, how old is, I forget. I always want to say Teenage Hadebe is young because his name is Teenage. How old is he? He's 30 years old now. So he's a little older now. I remember when he was younger. But still, I mean, like when Sporting played Messi in February and we lost, I don't remember who traded jerseys with him, but I'm sure somebody did. And I was like, whatever. I don't care. Just feels like one of those things where sometimes I think in sports media today, people got to get mad about something. And I saw her get mad about that. And I was like, just relax, Caleb.
100%. I was just saying that the other day. I was like, why is the story like, oh, is Jalen Hurts bad? And I'm like, dude, Eagles are winning games. Like, it's fine. They're just trying to find something to critique, right?
Yeah.
Now, that was before they gave up a massive
28 unanswered, 20, however many unanswered points.
Yes, they were up 24-0, and then pulled an Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl situation. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, people just nitpick that, But it's also on the opposite end. Chiefs are bad, but all other people want to say, all the headlines say is, can Mahomes make a run for the MVP? And I'm like, shut it down. What are you talking about? What is media these days? You say whatever the hell you want to say.
Yeah. So I don't know. I felt like it was an odd thing for her to get stuck on after that. Like there are so many things you could have talked about, like talk about why Cincinnati, got blown out on their home field, talk about what Miami is doing with Messi, all this stuff. But the single out the one player, I just felt like was a little strange to me. Wasn't my most favorite thing. I didn't like the way that she did it. So
no, I feel you.
But I don't know. So well, anyway, we're going to talk about the MLS schedule release here in just a couple minutes, because they did release the schedule, and I've seen both some Sporting Kansas City fans and some St. Louis fans that are a little frustrated with how things played out here in the conference schedule. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. But first, Chiefs, they pulled out a win So they have a hope at the playoffs. And calling out Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll be right back.
Missouri, big news. It's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. No wonder it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. The countdown is on. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KCSN. New Missouri customers sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KCSN. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are not withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Man, if you are, I know I've probably told you before, but Chris asked me the other day, like, what does Tech Week mean? What is Tech Week? Are you familiar with what Tech Week is in the theater?
Isn't it? It's not like a dress rehearsal, right? But it's like when you're trying to, like, even like the stage hands and everybody there, you're running through the logistics of the show, making sure everything functions properly, transitions, all that stuff.
Lights, sounds, band, all that stuff. And we are in costume now, so it's like just a lot of stuff can go wrong, and we had a rehearsal from 1 to 4 yesterday. Came back at 6, was there till 11. A little tired today, feeling a little down. So
I saw a TikTok yesterday from, I want to say it was from the musical & Juliet. But
I'd love to be in that.
Yeah, it looks really cool, but it was on Broadway, and they were showing how this actor, she has 30 seconds to get off the stage, do a full costume change, and get back on the stage. Literally, there's 30 seconds between when she's off the stage and back on for the next scene in totally different outfits. And so they had a camera off the stage, and they had a timer. She runs off the stage, and it starts. And she goes over, and it's like kind of like all Velcro. It's like this big dress. She Velcros, and she's got like her like biker shorts and tank top on underneath. And suddenly like 5 people swarm around her. They pull it off. They've got this other one. They're doing it. They're doing her hair. They're doing it. Someone hands her a water bottle. She takes a sip. She's doing it. They get it all done in about 24 seconds. She takes a swig of her water and gets back out. And 30 seconds later is back out on stage. And I was like, that's insane.
Dude, that was me in Tootsie, man. Remember, I'd run off. I had like 25 seconds.
Yeah.
I'd like fling my shoes off. I'd step out of my clothes. There'd be a guy there holding the bra that I would just kind of dive into. They'd fasten it. I was in charge of like my makeup. I was putting on lipstick and shit while they were clipping on my earrings. They took a fast video of it, and then I was back out there. It was craziness.
The only thing I've ever seen that like it kind of reminds me of is like a NASCAR pit stop.
It is.
Where everybody's like, okay, go.
Or Formula One, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was pretty crazy, but it made me think of you because I was like, damn, yeah, I know. I'm sure he's done stuff like this, but it seems stressful. He's like one little hiccup or one little thing gets caught or whatnot, and the timing of the entire show is off.
One time I came out for curtain call, I think my wig was on backwards. People fucking laughed at me.
But at least, was it a comedy or was it Tootsie?
It was Tootsie. It was comedy. It was fine.
Play it off.
But I was like, you made me look like a fool.
At least something like that, though, you could almost play it off as part of the character where you're like, oh, hopefully no one saw or whatnot. But
Right.
yeah.
And it was at the very end. Like, it's all make-believe.
Yeah.
Everyone's fine.
So, well, let's talk about the 2026 regular season schedule.
Yeah, we got it. Hell of an announcement, too.
We did. Okay, so let's talk about this Sporting Kansas City video before we dive into the game. So they had Ian James and Jacob Bartlett going around asking people questions about MLS, about Sporting, about other stuff. And I don't think it made Kansas City look very knowledgeable about soccer. And I'm not sure it made Sporting Kansas City look the best because...
Or creative. Like, it didn't feel creative. I don't know.
The clips that I saw, at least, and maybe there's a couple different versions, but the ones that I saw, like when they're like, name an MLS player, and the guy's like, Messi.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, cool. And then it's like they were having trouble even naming Sporting players at times or whatnot. And I was like, this just, like, I think I know what they were going for. But it's one of those things where, like, if you go out and you try to get the footage and you're not getting the footage you need, I think you got to scrap it and go for something else because this didn't work.
Yeah. It didn't make us look like we know a whole lot about that we even have a soccer team.
Right.
You know what I mean? It made us look like it kind of took us back about 15 years or so to where no one really, I don't know. It could have been cool, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, so our producer Nick, he mentioned that the Titans did something similar a couple years ago, and maybe that's what Sporting was going for. But what the Titans did, they're obviously in Nashville, and Nashville's known for being like a touristy city, a lot of bachelorette parties, bachelor parties. People have had some libations and such. So they would show, if I remember correctly, they would show like a logo of an opposing team to somebody that clearly doesn't know anything about football, and they'd be like, "Okay, what is this team's name?" And they'd show. A Lions logo, and it'd be like some bachelorette party lady, and she'd be like, "Oh, that's the New York Blue Cats," and then they'd be like, "September 22nd against the New York Blue Cats," and like it was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. But this was like, name something in Seattle, and this person was like, "Oh, that tower with the point on top," and then it was like, "We face Seattle September 9th," and I was like, "What?" So that is what they were going for then.
It must have been, but even when
missed
like about, I don't know. I think, and maybe this is me being like old man yelling at cloud.
Hey, I love that.
Find myself doing more and more as I get older.
Just be you. Just be you.
But I don't know. I think there are so many creative ways that you can, as a pro sports team or college sports team or whatever, find fun ways to announce your schedule. And I felt like it put Ian James and Jacob Bartlett in an awkward position. Like, because I know they were probably some of the only players they could get to do it right now, but they're also not players that like the average person on the street may know. And maybe Sporting doesn't have many of those anymore right now. We don't have a Beasler or a Zusi or a Johnny Russell anymore. But then I'm like, you kind of got to know that and set your players up for success too.
So, yeah, true. I can't think of a big time player we have that could go around town doing something like this.
No. If you're an MLS fan, you'll know who Dejan Jovic is. But if you're an average Kansas Cityan, you're not going to be able to spot Dejan Jovic on walking around.
Definitely not. This made us look pretty dumb. And we're not really a tourist city. You know what I mean? No. So this was asking true Kansas Cityans to talk about something that they obviously did not care about.
Yeah, which was a bummer to me. But hey, they didn't ask me. But they did announce the full season slate schedule.
This is crazy, by the way.
This is crazy. There's a lot of crazy things. The first game will be February 21st, which is very, very early.
Keep getting earlier every year.
In San Jose. And then it ends November 7th in San Diego. For some reason, I thought Decision Day was on Halloween, and that's not true. It's on November 7th. But there are going to be a significant number of MLS games on Saturday night, Halloween. The club will have their first ever home game on Halloween. So as you're going through this, like we said, February 21st, first game of the season at San Jose. Then February 28th, the club's first ever MLS home match in February against Columbus. So be prepared for that to be like 4 degrees outside. And then we go through. We've got a couple of games against St. Louis, both of which are weeknight games, not weekend games. So as you're going through this, what are some of the games you think that might stick out to you that you're most excited for? What is maybe most annoying to you? Is it the fact that both of our St. Louis games are on weeknights, on a Wednesday night and a Thursday night? What sticks out to you most about this schedule?
First off, I have to tell you, a day before the schedule came out, I got receipts, dude. I can show you. I text Marissa, and because we like to plan our vacations around soccer schedules, if we can, maybe travel to see a game or two.
Sure.
And I said, I think we got to wait till December for the schedule. I said last year it came out December 22nd.
Right.
I said, so we got about a month. And literally the next day happened, and I go, never mind, schedule's out.
Never mind, we're going to insert city here.
It was so weird. So when looking at this, you obviously I always look at the Eastern Conference games first, because you don't always play those teams.
You are in farther between.
Yeah, sometimes not at all, right? We don't even play Miami next year, do we?
No.
Yeah, so that's one. I do wish we played every single team, though. I wish that was a thing, but we don't, because you got to play every team in your conference twice. Is that the plan?
Yeah. At least twice, sometimes 3 times.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it looks like we're playing Red Bulls again on the schedule. That's cool. I see we have to go to Atlanta. That's a cool one. I've wanted to get down there and peruse their vegan scene a little bit. That's our only Sunday game, it looks like.
Yeah. That's what sucks is like some of those games where I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'd like to go see a game in Atlanta. Shoot, it's on a Sunday. That's going to make it even harder to travel to, because I'll probably have to travel back on a Monday and take off a day of work even more for that. So that's frustrating to me. But
no, I feel you. It does hinder work schedules unless you got a full week off the next week.
Yeah,
that's what we'd probably do. We'd probably spend a little time in Atlanta or something. But then looking a little closer, nothing's like super standing out. Like you mentioned, we play St. Louis on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
One of
Thursday
couple
first,
Wednesday
and then
games.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, we played them on a Thursday?
Yeah, I think we play in St. Louis on a Thursday.
Oh my God, there is a Thursday game. Okay.
Yeah. It's at St. Louis, Thursday, July 16th.
We got a few Wednesdays in there. I see there's a Friday in there, one Sunday.
Yeah.
But a few Wednesdays. Damn. I come after a year that there were like virtually no Wednesday games for us.
Yeah.
But I assume breaking for 3 weeks in the center of the summer for World Cup time means you got to restructure things a little bit.
Yeah, that's going to make things a little bit harder because there is going to be that World Cup break. I mean, we have a giant gap between Saturday, May 23rd and Thursday, July 16th. So it's like a month and a half off for the World Cup in there, which you're 100% right. That means more Wednesday, Thursday games. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 midweek games right now, plus a Friday night game. So eight games that are either on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday as of right now out of 34. So that's a pretty significant percentage. You're right. When I get these schedule releases, I always look at what are the Eastern Conference games that I may want to go to. Atlanta certainly jumps out to me. Nashville jumps out to me. Unfortunately, Nashville's on a Wednesday night again, so I'm probably not going to be able to make Nashville work. I may try to make Atlanta work in August, but again, that's a Sunday. That's frustrating. So, but to me, like I said, the most annoying things are I don't like the fact that both St. Louis games are on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Feels like that's something that MLS really missed on. Like, you got to give these two rivals at least a weekend game to be able to make that trip.
Yeah. We were not a priority in that, apparently.
And I know both teams aren't good, but it's very, very frustrating.
Yeah. Now, the best thing is, I'm like, okay, MLS, you're dropping your schedule before your playoffs have even wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking over at NWSL, and I'm like, your playoffs have wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Drop your schedule so
Right.
we can match up some games. If Sporting and KC Current like played in Portland on the same weekend or something, wouldn't
Right.
that be crazy?
That'd be the way to do this, and that's sometimes how I make my decision about what am I going to do in terms of away game travel. If I can make 2 games work together, then that's the thing I would have us. That's where I would travel to most. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Now, what I told you I had the Everton and the Manchester United game on behind me. I'm watching this. I think an Everton player just got a red card for punching his teammate. So that's fun. Never seen that before. So our midfielder punched our own defender and then got a red card.
Amazing. Okay.
Things are going well. But anyway, but yeah, this schedule, I how do you feel about a home game on Halloween?
I think it's really cool if you don't have kids. Obviously,
Yeah.
kids are going to want to go trick or treating, but if you have like some older kids and you're a adult who likes cosplaying, then it could be fun. Shit, man, let's get goofy. Let's put on some costumes.
You wear a Sporting KC costume?
I don't know. I'd be down to wear something.
Speaking of, I just remember as I'm talking about this, because I was about to be like dressed as Peter Vermees or whatever. I had a dream last night, and Peter Vermees was in it. And I had a dream that I was at a theater show, and I saw Peter Vermees from across the crowd, and he sees me, and he comes up to me, and he's about to talk to me, and he goes, I know a lot of times the club gives the inside scoop to those other reporters, the reporters from other outlets. So I'm going to give you something right now. And I'm pretty in my dream. I'm like, he's about to tell me what his next move is. And he wants me to break this news. And I'm going to be like, breaking news, Peter Vermees is going to be the head coach of whatever. And then somebody else comes up and interrupts me. And Peter's like, I'll tell you after the show. And then I see him sitting across the aisle from me. And then after the show, he leaves and they never found him.
What is this dream?
What
are you dreaming about? This is insane.
I don't know. But it just, when I was like, I was going to make a joke about dressing up as Peter Vermees. And then I had this like, that's so Raven moment where in my mind, I was like, oh, I had this dream about Peter Vermees.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But Halloween, yeah, I think it could be fun. I hope that the club does something very fun around it. I hope that the league as a whole lets players be a little fun, whether it be like decorate your cleats or have some fun costumes for warm-ups or whatnot. I think that could be fun. Do a costume contest or something with the fans out on the plaza. I think it could be cool. It is a bummer if you have kids, unless they do like trick-or-treating stations in the plaza or around the stadium or something, or even after the game with players. I think that could be cool. But I'm not a big like Halloween party guy. So it doesn't really impact me all that much that I can't go like do a Halloween party or whatnot. But I know some people are probably going to be annoyed about that. But
yeah, probably a little bit. But it is what it is, man.
Thought it was interesting. So it should be interesting to see how this sort of plays out. We will be back in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah,
we were not in it in 2025. So the single elimination competition again, it'll be round of 16. Quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final. The winner will get into the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So Sporting Kansas City will be in that once again. And then as a reminder for everybody, all of this will be on just regular Apple TV. There is no more MLS Season Pass. And we do have to mention, I think we learned that if you are a season ticket member, it sounds like you are going to get a subscription to Apple TV, correct? So that is sort of supplementing or replacing the season pass perk that existed before. Is that correct?
Pretty cool. Because yeah, absolutely. I mean, Apple TV, man, is you're gonna get all the shows and movies too. Like it's pretty awesome that they're doing this. And I think this was news, by the way, last week when I was like, well, what perk do season ticket members get? Like, really, I just look like a big ding ding now. But it's all good. We're good.
Yeah. So it actually works out better for season ticket members because, like you said, not only do you get the MLS games, you now get all of the Apple content, which I will never understand Apple's marketing strategy because they have some of the best content out there and just don't tell anybody about it. So if you haven't had a chance to watch shows like Severance, now's your opportunity to, or Shrinking, or insert whatever great Apple TV show here. You're going to have the opportunity to do so. So very excited about that. Lastly, before we go, the other thing that I do want to talk about is, so we mentioned Miami beat Cincinnati 4-0. New York City upset the Philadelphia Union 1-0. So the Eastern Conference Final is New York City FC versus Inter Miami. Western Conference, we know Vancouver beat LAFC on penalty kicks. So it is the number 2 seed Vancouver as of tonight of this recording. So we are recording this on Monday. So Monday night, by the time you're listening to this on Tuesday, we'll already know who the winner of this game is. But San Diego plays Minnesota because Minnesota was able to beat Seattle in that series. So it'll either be Vancouver, San Diego, or Minnesota against Miami or New York City. So I think we all expect Miami to probably continue to win, but Vancouver might be a sleeper here. The Whitecaps might actually do something. So I'm kind of excited to see how this plays out.
100%. I'd love to see, San Diego and Vancouver face off if that's what's going to happen. We already know the results, obviously, if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Can NYCFC take down Miami? I mean, they're the last remaining highest seed, right, in the Eastern Conference.
Miami is they're the number 3 seed.
That's what I mean.
And New York is the number 5 seed. Yeah. So
Miami, 2-1 are down. It's them. Miami has hosting priority for MLS Cup. So if they get this thing done, they host the Cup, man.
Do they have it even over San Diego?
Yep, I was looking at it. Goes by Supporters Shield standings.
That's right.
Miami had 65 points. San Diego had 63.
You're right. I forgot about that.
I thought it would go by seeds, but no, it goes by
100%
points.
right. That's interesting. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but man, I'm going to be pulling hard for New York City. And call me a hater if you want to, but I don't need to see another. Although it would be best case scenario, maybe, is Miami wins. It's in Miami, and then like Minnesota upsets them in Fort Lauderdale.
Minnesota could only host, by the way, if they are if they're up against
New York City.
New York City, yeah.
So it'd be funny. That would be like MLS's worst case scenario is like, oh, we don't have Miami and the finals in Minnesota, like from a media right standpoint, but
also cold as hell.
Although that stadium is very nice and indoors.
Is it indoors?
I'm pretty sure
Minnesota Stadium?
What is it called? Audi Field? No. Allianz?
Are you out of your mind? That's not.
Is it not? No, it's not. I really thought it was. Disregard me. Wow, from the outside it looks like it is, and you're right, it's not. So yeah, it'd be cold as an MFer.
I mean, it does look a little bit like a toilet bowl, so there's that. But that would be a chilly game for them.
That would be, man. Now I want that to happen too. I either want
Team Chaos, bro. If your team's not there, root for Chaos.
100%. Team Chaos. If we can have a snow MLS Cup final in Minnesota, I am all about it. So,
hey, am I right that the MLS final is at 1:30? On a Saturday?
Yeah.
That's pretty
probably.
dope. That's pretty great time for that.
December 6th, 1:30. Is that because that might be conference championship week for college football? So they're trying to not compete with like the SEC championship.
Yeah, smart.
So
nice.
Look, we're getting down to the wire. Final couple games of the MLS season. And then hopefully we'll start hearing more and more information about what's going to happen with new Sporting Kansas City signings. So we'll see.
We should. Yeah.
You got anything else for our good listeners here?
Nope. Let's rock and roll, man. I know you got a soccer game to watch. I got a basketball game to watch. Let's buzz boogie.
Yeah. I still can't believe they just showed the replay again. Literally, Idrissa Gana Gueye punched Michael Keane, his own teammate, in the face, and that's what the ref saw, and he pulls out a red card and gave it to him. I've literally never seen this in my life. Only Everton could do this.
Do you think he should have gotten a red, though? Like, I mean...
I don't know what the rules are about that. Like, can you get a red card for fighting your own teammate?
It's violence, and it's...
Technically, because it's unsporting behavior and it's violent conduct. I've just never seen this.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. They need to get some shit together.
And I can't, like, obviously I'm recording, so I don't know what the announcers are saying. I'm going to have to look up some stuff on Twitter or Blue Sky afterwards to figure out what the heck's going on. But literally in my mind, I've never in my life seen this. This is insane. So,
all right.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate you all. Thank you for sticking with us. We hope, we're pretty sure in the next week or two, we don't know if it'll be next week or the week after, but we're going to have a very, very cool guest for an interview. So hopefully I didn't just jinx it, but we got some stuff in the works. So working on that. But make sure you follow us on all social media at No Other Pod, at Dan Kooser, at JCMac03. Leave us that 5-star rating and review. Shoot us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube, KCSN Soccer, or via the KC Sports Network app. But until next time, he's Dan. I'm Jimmy. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.
Happy Thanksgiving, fools.